And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. A lot of workforces have been experiencing a worker shortage. Some lawmakers believe the answer is to loosen up on some child labor laws. Back in March, a bill was reintroduced that would allow 16 and 17-year-olds to work in the logging industry with parental supervision. In the past 2 years, 10 states have already rolled back on their child labor laws. Let's talk about it. Joining me now here on The Factor Uncensored, certified public accountant Ed Gardner and the Associate Director of Children at Risk, Lindsay Wilkerson. Glad to have you all here on The Factor. How desperate are we in this country? We're ready to put the kids back to damn work.
I think it depends who you ask.
And there was a recent poll, 1 in 4 people said, let's put their asses back to work.
Yes, I think that's alarming. The protections are there for a reason. They were put in place almost a century ago to protect children, and so rolling back these protections will put some of our most vulnerable children at risk.
And Ed, are the shortages that bad in this country where companies are desperate, so desperate that they're willing to put children to work?
We know with the virus, we have a lot of people that got unemployment and they got used to not working. And then also we have the problem with the border. We have over 130,000 immigrant children that came in that didn't have someone come with them, and they're trying to get asylum. And we have right now a backlog of about 1.6 million people in the courts. So here we have all these unattended children that they need to support themselves. So they're trying to get any type of work they can. And there are a lot of states loosening up. In fact, this year in 23, we have 6 states that have proposed bills to lower all the requirements, and it's a shame what's happening.
And Lindsay, let's talk about it. When we go to the past, when we go to history and take a look at this, many young people were taken out of the workforce because they were working more than they were being educated, and they were being abused by companies. What would this look like in the future if we have our children out there working?
Well, I think we've started to see some of that. There's been a number of recent reports exposing companies that have been employing underage workers in conditions that they shouldn't be working in hazardous occupations where they're at risk for injury or death, and working all hours. They're not getting an education, and this puts their overall safety and well-being at risk. And this is really the most vulnerable population. So we're going to see Black, brown, and immigrant youth impacted most by these rollbacks.
And of course, we're looking at a generation of undereducated young people. What would that do to this country, Ed?
Well, of course, we're not going to be able to grow as much as we have in the past. But we do have, Isaiah, a lot more students that are actually going back to school, trying to get an education to get things better. And I think this is happening more on the low economic individuals, where they're going and working. In fact, you know, there's companies hiring them 10 at night to 5 in the morning, which is against the federal labor laws.
And so we know the Department of Labor, I read a recent report where they are investigating several of these companies. But what can the community, what can people do to say, this is not what we want for our country or for our young people?
I think speaking out, there's a number of bills that haven't passed yet but have been proposed in a number of states across the country. There's also federal legislation that is looking at this issue as well. And so voters need to use their voice. They need to speak out and help protect children. It's been a 283% increase in child labor violations since 2015.
That's incredible.
Astronomical.
All right, Lindsay Wilkerson from Children at Risk, and also Ed Gardner. Always good to see you. Thank you guys for joining us here on The Factor